In today's Strictly Business, we're looking at how businesses are leveraging partnerships with local sports teams to reach their target audience.
And joining us now to talk more about brands and sports-related sponsorships, we have Ronnie Yaldu, who is COO of Savvy Sliders, and Mark Estley, CEO of the Lee Group. Good to have you both here with us this morning.
Thank you for having us.
So let's talk about the importance of these partnerships when we talk specifically about local sports teams. Why is this so pivotal in this day and age?
Well, first of all, let me say thank you to Aiden Hutchinson. Obviously, we're thinking about him and certainly what he's going through, so I just want to make sure I stay up front. Why is it important for local teams to engage with local sponsorships? I think it's an opportunity to engage yourself with a new audience. It gives you a chance to reach audiences that you would not normally get a chance to certainly reach. You also think about the Detroit sports fans. We are a passionate city. We just saw what happened with the Tigers, and now we're seeing what's happening to the Lions. We have the Red Wings. And people in this city will engage with businesses that do have relationships with the local team. So I think engaging in terms of a sponsorship standpoint, it's nothing but great news for businesses that decide to do that.
Ronnie, tell us about the partnership between Savvy Sliders and the Detroit Lions, and really what you guys considered before getting into that partnership.
So it's been a dream to do something like this. We're all huge Detroit Lions fans, as all Detroit sports fans. We reached out to all of our franchisees that were in Detroit, and we asked them, guys, what do you think if we sponsor the Detroit Lions? And before we could even finish, everybody, is that a real thing? And yes, it's going to be a real thing. So we reached out to them first. Our franchisees have to be there first and foremost in any business that you're in, I think. And when they were excited about it, we moved forward with it. It's been a dream come true.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
And we have seen it's been bananas, right, in terms of merchandise specifically when you're talking about a lot of entrepreneurs taking advantage of this. But how important is the timing to all this? Can you miss the mark when it comes to timing?
Absolutely. I think what you have to do from a business perspective is that you have to understand exactly what your objectives are. What are you trying to achieve? You also look at the time of the year. We know that right now, here we are in the fall. You're going to have plenty of people now with the weather changing, of course. People are going to be at home. You're going to be in front of the TV sets. You're going to be going to Lions games and the other indoor activities that are taking place. So timing is very critical. You don't want to launch a sponsorship when the timing is simply not appropriate for you to launch a sponsorship. So if you understand your business objectives, understand that time of the year, we can certainly maximize the eyeballs. That's what you need to take into account as you think about sponsorships.
Ronnie, I'm curious. It's one thing to attach your name to the Lions, for the Lions to attach their name to Savvy Sliders. How do you measure success in this? Are there key metrics you look at? Is it like how many of the tailgate boxes you sell?
So, we brought the tailgate boxes for you guys, and then what we did is we wanted to make sure that we marketed this perfectly and correctly. Our CEO came up with this brilliant plan of we're going to do a buy one, get one free when the Lions win. This gives back to the community. We know it's tough out there, and for a day like today, where the Lions won yesterday, everybody's excited. We're excited. We're texting each other. We're either with each other or texting each other. Lions won. We're going to be in the stores today. We're going to be making the meals for them. We're going to flip. We'll do whatever it takes. And I think this is a great way to give back. The Lions are kind of a real gritty and a gritty team. I think that's kind of exactly what we are. We're a little bit about the same.
If you look at the sponsorships, right now the Lions are bringing eyeballs.
Yes.
And we also know that they sell out every single game. So throughout the course of 8 or 9 home games, you're reaching over 500,000 people in the stadium. And if you look beyond the stadium, the eyeballs are still focused on the Lions. So again, look at the metrics, look at the reach, the potential reach and frequency of a team like the Lions. And if you have the right partnership with them, it can certainly help to elevate your business. You told me that your sales are up what percent?
We're going to be up 20%.
20%?
Yeah, we'll be up 20%. And there's a residual effect the rest of the week where you're getting your product in people's hands. That way, the rest of the week, they're going to call you on a Friday, a Saturday, a Sunday. That tailgate box is, it's you're feeding 5 people for $20. It's unheard of nowadays.
Yeah, it definitely is unheard of. You talk about the metrics. There've got to be some challenges, though, right? Obviously, timing is important. But what about when there isn't a boom?
You know what? I've negotiated sports sponsorships in the past. I've negotiated deals when it wasn't a boom time. So the nice thing, if it's not a boom time, the price comes down. And essentially, you can negotiate a better price point if the team is not as hot or as popular. So one of the challenges is you want to get in when the time is right. And if you could do that, you can certainly ride that wave for as long as that contract can last. So if you can negotiate those prices for a longer term, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, in the long haul, you certainly will be better off.
You said you've negotiated these contracts in the past. Curious, is it just on the local level? Like, does Savvy Sliders just negotiate with the Lions, or do they need NFL approval? Or does the NFL have to give approval on what kind of business is being accepted into a
Yeah,
sponsorship?
you certainly have to get approval. There's no question about
For
that.
everything.
If you're-
For
For the
everything.
box, we had to
Okay.
get approval for everything to use their logo because you are using their logo. It's just, it's the Detroit Lions. The NFL is a huge.
In the NFL, what you got to remember, it's a brand. The brand is owned by the NFL, which is headquartered in New York. They don't want anybody to certainly devalue the brand. So everything that you do from a branding perspective, from a sponsorship perspective, I negotiated 5-year deals when I lived in Florida. I actually have a championship ring for the Miami Heat. Everything that we went through, we had to go through that particular entity. So in this case, Savvy Sliders certainly has to get approved from
Yep.
the Lions or from the NFL before they can proceed.
So it's quite a process.
Yeah.
It is a process.
So what about for someone who has this pipe dream, right, and wants to get on this bandwagon? What would be the biggest piece of advice you would say?
My biggest piece of advice is just don't do it to get free tickets. Seriously, don't just do it so you can sit in the suite at the Lions game. You do it based on the potential business value for your business. If you think there's a business value, if you can invest those resources and get a return on your investment, that is something you should consider doing. If you're doing it just because you're a Lions fan and there's no other reason to doing it, that's the only reason you want to do it, that's not the best choice to make. Make sure you understand your business strategy, your investment, and whether or not you get a return on your investment as well.
Brand recognition, customer loyalty, that's what you're looking for, and return on investment will happen if you get those.
Well, that sounds like it's been a pretty good return on investment so far. That's
Yes.
right. So
Yep.
once again, when the Lions win, what do they get?
Buy one, get one free, any combo meal.
That's a great
You
deal.
make me hungry.
Like-
Is it? I know.
That's right.
We need some of those breakfast sliders around here.
Coming.
It's
Yeah.
time to eat.